everybody. So today I am really excited that you're here because we are doing a whole video on Haus Labs. I have their setting powder, I have the foundation, I have concealers, I have two of their eye shimmer or all over shimmer goos. They're called Hy-Power Pigment Paints. I have their paints, and we are going to see how this wears on dry, mature skin. Hate the word mature. Somebody please, in the comments, we need a new word. And it's definitely not mature for me. No, not mature. So we have everything on, and I'm going to go through the tutorial with you because through the magic of time passing on a video, I'm going to let this sit and I'm going to come back and share with you my thoughts on the foundation, how it wears, the concealer, the powder, the whole 9 yards. I really like to see how a whole group of products that were made for each other, how they interact with each other on my skin, mature skin, somebody who is in the 50-ish range. I will see you guys in a little bit. I decided to go for the silver shimmer and the rose gold shimmer because in terms of just pigments that I have all the Hindash ones, and those don't have sparkle except for the boy tears, and I have that also. But I just wanted to try these out because everybody's doing such plain makeup lately, but I still like some shimmer. I really do. I like it so much. So we're going to try all these products on. I've prepped my face with the Phytosurgeon's Verdant Force Field, which is second to none, the best primer that you can put on your skin. And I've also added a little bit of the Victoria Beckham in the original color. And what I like to do with this is anywhere that I'm going to brighten, Cupid's bow, sides of my mouth, next to my chin, my eyes, going this way, a little above the eyebrows and down the nose. I'm not a tip of the nose person, but I'm a down the nose a little bit person. So we are going to, I guess, start with the concealer. I don't know. So I'm going to open up number 3 Fair Rosy and number 6 Rosy, and this is way light for me, but undertone wise this is what they had for me. So I did pick up 2 colors, and I think mixing them together is going to be sort of like my good match. But I will show you the really nice doe foot that's on these. It really will hold a lot of product, but it's soft and it moves. Let me get this one open. This one definitely has more of a deeper pinky hue, which is why I think we can mix our own little concoction here for concealer. So when I'm concealing, sometimes I like to put the foundation on first, and sometimes I like to put the concealer on first. I find that I use less foundation when I go in with my concealer first, try to color correct anything that I can, like the sprues that I have from my Botox that I got. We're going to start with this. I am going to take just a palette, a clear palette, and I am going to put some of this product onto the palette. And I'm going to show you both colors before I mix them together. Usually I'm looking for something that's more brightening for under the eyes and a couple other highlighty places, and then another color that is closer to my skin tone. This is too light, this is too deep. but I'm right on with my undertone. And mixing these together, I think this is going to be the ticket. So I'm going to use just a very nice little concealer brush from Hourglass, and I'm just going to start dabbing into this. And I'm going to start here because this is where I find I'm most dark. And I'm going to take that under my eye and up, blending as much as I can with the brush. I do like to go in with fingers after because there's warmth. Go on this side. I get that real darkness in here, like in this part of my eye, and I really like when that gets lightened up, and then we can kind of swoop this forward. And I do think this is a really nice color for me mixed together. I could see using a little bit more of the dark in the summer and a little bit more of the lighter one in the winter when I'm not getting as much color. So I am going to go in a little bit on the nasal labial folds under my nose, down here, give a little reinforcement to the jowl area. This is my bane of my existence, is this part of my face falling down. Can't take it. And then the only other thing I like to do is just right below where we're going to be like doing the major contouring. We're going to put some under there. I'm going to take another brush now and I'm going to smooth this out. This is just an old It brush from 1,000 years ago that I'm sure they still have similar, where you have a small kind of firm tip and then a cat paw. So I'm going to use the cat paw now to do some back and forth motions because I'm not disturbing anything underneath it, so I can definitely make my brush swirl and do most of the work. And you can see I'm going to need very little foundation because of this. And I think the trick when you start getting a little bit older is you think you have to put on more makeup because we have so much more to cover. But in all honesty, that doesn't look good. It looks made up. I don't think anybody wants to look made up. I think everybody wants to look like the best version of themselves. Yeah, we got a little coverage going there. I would say this is a definite medium coverage concealer, but look at how much more my face is more even. A little bit of brightening. All right, we're gonna try out this Not Warm, Fair Warm foundation. Okay, so this is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the color 06 Fair Warm. Just gonna wipe off the concealer from here so we have a palette to work from. I'm going to take one pump. It's going to take a second to get one pump. Got one pump here, and I don't know how they call this warm. It is a little peachier than I go. So I had a hard time finding a match in the store. And this was about as pink as we could find. So I'm just going to start taking some of this really gently. I'm not even pressing down with this brush, and I just want to start to even out my skin tone. I've been told by more people to try this foundation, that everybody who tries it loves it, And I swear every time I hear something like that, I'm not liking it. So hopefully that spell will be broken. Trying to just do like one half of my face here so we can see what kind of a difference we have. Seems to be evening things out nicely in a very like natural skin-like way. I can still see freckles. I can still see some of my age spots, but this is going over wrinkles and texture really well. Oh yeah. This is lovely. Look at that. Like a wow difference, huh? Take a little down the neck. Always it's a little bit on the ear. This is beautiful. And I will go over this with a puff when I'm done to take off extra product. But right now I just want to make sure that we're evenly distributed. See, I'm going very softly. Not really even use, I'm not going to be able to use a whole pump. I shouldn't have done a whole pump. I should have done like a half of a pump. This is just gorgeous the way it's covering and the way it's making my skin look. My skin looks like skin, which is exactly what I want in a foundation. I don't want to look like I'm wearing foundation. I want to look like I have good skin. Do a little bit on the eyes here. Okay, we've got that on both sides. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this foundation. I'm going to get a puff. And right now I am just going to start dabbing to take off any product that's excess that doesn't need to be on my face, because I want to get the thinnest layer possible that still gives me coverage. Wow. Color me impressed, and I haven't been impressed for a while. I've been really stuck on my Clé de Peau Cushion Foundation, Radiant Dewy, and it has done it for me. This is like a true skin finish. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, because we're going to come back and we're going to do eyes together and try some of her shimmer. What does she call these? Her Hy-Power Pigment Paint. I like that. All right, I will be right back when I'm ready for more Haus Labs. I am going to prep my eyes with some of this concealer or some of this foundation since it's still here. And I really think it's such beautiful coverage. I want to see what it's like as an eyeshadow base. It cancels out a lot of those like purpley colors, which I do love. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting really nice medium coverage here. It's very impressive, I have to say. And everybody's been talking about this for so long, and I'm like, oh, I don't need another foundation. But once the concealer came out, I was done. I needed it. And she is really putting out a lot of really good products. And I think her stint on Amazon was a good lesson learned. And her rebrand is so authentically her. Like when you see her on her videos, talking about the products. It's passionate. And that's what I love. It's like when Natasha Denona is the same way. If she's talking about what she's created, there's magic to it. And just true, it just rings true. The next product that I'm going to put on before eyes is, I want to try her setting powder in translucent. It has a little net that captures some of this. I am a little bit scared because this looks a little bit yellow, but it's supposed to be translucent. It seems to be rubbing in okay. I am going to dedicate a new puff that's just for her. Okay, I'm just going to take a close look at my face before powder. I want to just make sure everything is pressed in. We went over it already and got rid of extra product. Just want to make sure we've got a really natural looking skin finish here. I don't think I can zoom in anymore. It's pretty. It's really pretty. It's a pretty foundation. All right, we're going to try the powder because it's supposed to be magical. It is a loose powder, and I said I'm dedicating one of these brand new puffs. Guys, best $5 that you can grab at Sephora are these really incredible soft puffs. You can slip your fingers in because they're big enough. You can flip it to the other side so you can use both sides. These are great in your purse. They wash fantastically well. It feels like there's like a sponge inside. You really, really wring them out and kind of stand them up so that they get dry overnight. They're fantastic. All right, I'm going to go in here and get some of the powder. Distribute it a little bit on here. I'm going to go for my under eyes first. Set that concealer. Okay. This is very smoothing. Just going to go in the center of the face where I don't want any shine. I will do right here in the middle of my forehead. Sides of the nose. Make sure this is all good in the nasal labial folds. And I don't even mind taking it up here. But I don't want to do my cheeks just yet. All right, let's take a close look at what just happened here. Getting a little bit of dryness looking around the nose. Definitely settling into some of my lines. Almost like on top. I wonder if I spray it, if we can get a better look. Sometimes the powder has to be sprayed down with a setting spray to be its best. And I'm going to try to go around the nose here. And down here where it was looking kind of wrinkly. I've never really been a powder person. Recently I've tried some powders that I've liked. I find that they tend to make things look kind of dry, and I am seeing that right now when I look in the mirror. All right, we're gonna have to see what happens with makeup, but right now I don't know. First I was like, yeah, I'm really into this, and now I'm not. I'm not sure. So we'll put on a little more makeup and we'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna take the Trench by Victoria Beckham and use this as an eye base. These cream shadows are great. You've got a little playtime and then they stay put. I find them to be a great base for other shadows. And this one is so close to the tone of my skin, and they do have a darker one also that would be for people with more melanated skin than me. Okay, that is Trench. And I'm also going to use, so I'm going to go out here on the outer corner and just sort of make the shape that I want to be getting. And I just go in with my finger, because fingers are free. And I just kind of give myself a little shape. Go out like that. And then use your finger so you have a darkened edge. And then going into my socket, I'm going to use something that's a little bit not as soft as I normally do, because I want to get this onto the brush, because this is just a nice matte brown that you can put on when you're using glam makeup, just to give it a little stage. So I need a little stage, and I'm trying to give myself as much real estate as I can by faking that upper crease. Coming down on both sides. And just having that nice frame to work within. These are incredible from Victoria Beckham. The eyewear, I'm so bummed that I didn't get the macaroon color, because I really, really want it. I learned a big lesson. There's not one thing that I've missed of hers, and I missed that. Okay, so we're powdered, we're prepped eye-wise. Let's see which one of these is going to appeal to us the most today. So, I've said these do come in matte colors, and you know, you're seeing a lot of this now. I think it kind of started with Hindash doing his colors. Why is this stuck in here? And I think that people want to get creative now. And these tend to lend itself to being more creative, because it's like a shimmer, I don't know, khaki. If you ever watched her before, she calls them shimmer goos. So I'm going to use her term and say shimmer goos. I will link her down below. She's fun to watch and has a lot to say about color theory, and I've learned a ton from her. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of this on my palette. I'm going to put a little bit of the silver and a little bit of the rose gold. From what I could tell playing in the store, you don't need a whole lot. So I just put like a little bit of each here, and I'll kind of smoosh them a little so you can get the idea of their color. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the silvery color and get that on my lid. I like these. Okay, got a highlighter here from Chanel. This is the sculpture, or sculpting, sorry. I'm just gonna highlight that whole area with this balm, and then use my fingers to pat. Anything I got left can go there. Cupid's bow, 2 points underneath, and right above my brow. Okay, so we've got a little bit of highlighter going, and I found one of my Chanel bombs, and this is the one that came out, I think it was in the spring. It's called Rouge Fraise, and again, fingers. I love patting blush in like this so I can really get concentration where I want it. Okay, we still have one more product to try of hers, and it is her matte lip, and I will tell you right off the bat, usually not my thing. I'm more of a liquidy, you know, not set down kind of color. This is a swatch of, what do they call this again? Just ripped it open. The matte mauve. So let's see if it's hydrating or if it's going to be like super dry. I do like the shape because I don't have to use a liner. This is quite a lot of pigment. I'm gonna dot a little of this on and use my fingers for a change. And I'm just creating more of a stain. And if I start to feel like it's getting kind of dry, I'll put some lip gloss on. But right now, I'm digging it. I like this look. I'm gonna stop filming for a second, get my eyebrows done. And, no, not my eyebrows. My eyebrows are done. My lashes. And we'll come back and we'll talk and do a little wear test today. See what it looks like in a couple of hours. But so far, kind of mixed. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to use the KVD tubing mascara to get a little drama going here. Got an eyelash on here. Really cool doe foot. It's like bigger at the top, almost like a honeycomb or something. Okay, I like to really like wiggle this stuff up. And you do have a little playtime with this, but not unlimited. It likes to be added to when it's still wet. And this bottle is getting thicker, definitely, as it's been open for a while. It was much thinner when I first opened it. You gotta be careful of clumps or eyelashes that are stuck together and going a little crazy. But as long as you're like breaking it up as you go, you'll be okay. And this just really gives you like a very long, pretty lash look. And I'm not even wearing any dark eyeliner. That's pretty incredible. Okay, let me do the other eye with mascara. It's definitely a wiggle motion that I think works the best so that you really saturate the root to get that really full look. The interesting thing about this mascara, this tubing mascara, is that it's definitely lengthening, but it's also got a lot of volume. See see if it starts to dry, you start to get like those little dots. You just have to quit while you're ahead. Okay. So we've got a nice stain going. It doesn't feel dry yet. Again, I'll be ready with clear lip gloss if that happens. You know what I'm going to do? I just put a little of this on as blush. Because I love tying in the lip color with the cheek somewhere. Like this is going to be real pretty up here. Oh, I love that. It brings it together. And you can even take a teeny bit on your finger and just put a little of it in your eye look, and it really, you'll see that color everywhere and it looks like it belongs. Okay, right now it is 5 after 4. I'm going to leave this on for a couple hours and I will come back and give you an update and see what we think. I'm a little worried just about the dryness factor and the settling factor, especially like around here. Like you can already see it's pulling apart, and I don't really get that much at all. See if we can use a little of the concealer. We'll take a little drop of each and we'll see if we can help the nose. It's always a problem with the nose. This is just the Angie Hot and Flashy A505. I mix those together. I'm going to come back around, pat that in, really push the product into my skin. Go over here on my little bruise. Over here I'm seeing a lot of pores and wrinkles. I'm not loving that. I don't know. I think it's dry skin friendly. Like it doesn't feel dry. I don't know. There's something about it right now. Like it may need to settle into my skin. Let me give myself one more spritz. Of the Hourglass Veil Soft Focus spray, no alcohol, hydrating. Okay, so this is a look. We're gonna go and kill a couple hours and we'll come back and we'll discuss what we think and I'll give you my final thoughts. So this is a outside view of what the Haus Labs looks like in natural light. I know there's a lot of like trees in the way, but there we go. So I'm still having this. Not loving the way this is gathered over here. I feel like it's sitting in my lines. I don't know. Everybody loves it. But it's not working on my dry, mature skin. I like the lip. I like the shimmer stuff on the eyes. It's just the foundation, concealer, powder. That's just not agreeing with, I guess, my skin issues. Too bad because it was really a pretty color. Here we're not in direct sunlight, But if you can see here where it's like pulling, breaking up a little, you can still see this. It didn't cover my age spots, sunspots. Yeah, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this is the best look. But that shimmer stuff, hello. Even the lip is kind of worn off and it hasn't been that long. It's been like an hour. Yeah, an hour. I think we're gonna end here and say maybe this is for people with younger skin. I'm not sure. Just didn't work for me though. Even inside you can see it's looking dry. I'm not loving here or here. This area. Yeah, I think it's a pass for me.